We are still growing in population. We're growing in, our roads are growing. That's why we were building these new roads. We're building new schools because people want to live here. They want to live in the South. They want to live close to the coast. The trend has been for 50 years, people have been moving to Horry County. So they're still going to be coming here, and we're going to be there. Now, some years will be 10,000 new people. Some years might be only 4,000 or 5,000 new people. But we're a growing community, so we can't stop that. We can't put up a sign on every road and say, stop coming. People are going to come to Myrtle Beach. It's a great place to live. That's why you and I live here.
That's right, sure.
So they're still coming, and they will eventually eat up that excess inventory. It might take a couple of years, but they will eat up that excess inventory, and then we'll be sitting around saying, boy, we need to do something else.
Better get rolling,
we got to do something else.
How exciting, Randy. Well, and for you, obviously, we opened up with you as the president of CANA Corporation. You talked about creating Lightus in your early 20s. You later, when did you actually create the CANA Corporation? What exactly is CANA? Does that stand for anything? Is that an acronym? Or
it's not an acronym, but
it's not,
when I started over, I went through some hard times in the 80s. Tax reform was very difficult for myself and a lot of people. Of course, we learned a lot from that. You learn from adversity. You don't learn from easy times. And so when we started over, I decided to start another company, called it CANA Corporation. It's named just for the wedding of Cana.
The wedding of Cana.
The wedding of Cana is where Jesus performed his first miracle.
Is that right?
And so, and I thought at that time Jesus had performed a miracle in my life, and I just wanted to honor him with the name of the company. And that's kind of what we do. We feel like that we turn water to wine, like in Cana is where Jesus turned water to wine. We feel like we take something that's kind of a blank wall. It's like an artist. You take a blank wall, and we actually create properties. So we are, whether it's building a house or whether it's taking a piece of land and designing a subdivision and deciding what's the best use of that land for that subdivision, we feel like we turn a raw piece of land into something beautiful where people want to live, and that's what
wonderful.
We do.
Randy, that must be a great feeling. Yeah. I visited your site early this morning. CANA sells lots or new homes at myrtlebeach.com. Some really good-looking developments that you've been involved in since creating the company in the, I guess, in the late 80s. So I think you all are celebrating, is it 20 years this year? Yeah,
we 20-year anniversary here. We started in 1988, and we're still around kicking. We're and we've got a good number of developments around the county right now.
Right. I think I saw there's another 20-year anniversary for you and your wife, y'all's involvement in is it the Western Tour for boys and girls?
The Western Tour for boys and girls. Yeah, that's one of my passions. It's a bus trip for teenagers. It's a bus trip in the summertime, mainly junior high age kids, boys and girls, that my uncle, Randy and Ernestine Gravely in Lake City, along with R.L. and Dot Cockfield from Lake City, started the Western Tour for Boys and Girls in 1957.
Is that right? And just celebrated 50 years last year.
50-year anniversary trip last year.
Wow.
We had an exciting trip, and we take, they used to take 2 bus loads, a bus load of boys and a bus load of girls. And then when I started going 20 years ago, my wife and I went 20 years ago with my uncle. He asked us to go and help him with the tour. And we took a few weeks off in the summer and did that. And we took our children with us, and who were young at the time. And of course, I went when I was 13, 14 years old, back growing up in Marion. I went on the tour with my uncle. But we used to take 2 bus loads, a bus load of boys and a bus load of girls, and if they were good after a few days, we said we'd let them ride together if they behaved. But now we just take 1 bus load.
And mix them up. And one side of the aisle, the other side.
Well, if we have to.
Y'all are good chaperones, I'm sure.
But we enjoy it, and we have some great folks that have helped us over the years. Frank and Harriet Clark have helped us for a number of years. And it's a neat trip. We take a busload of kids out west.
Are they all from the Myrtle Beach area?
They're from all over, mainly the PD.
Oh, great! In our viewing area, wonderful.
We have kids going a lot from Florence this year, but over the years, a number of kids from Sherrill, Marion, Mullins, Florence, Lake City, Hartsville. We have some come from Columbia and Greenville in that area, but mostly from the PD area.
That's great. That is wonderful. And you suspect, obviously we've been using your crystal ball for real estate, the future of the Western Tour? It's going to be around for a long time.
Well, that's hard to say. To be the interesting thing, the reason we take one busload instead of two now is that kids today, they have so many choices of things to do. They have soccer camps, cheerleading camps, things that didn't exist 20 years ago. But we still enjoy it. I think it's very different. It's a very unique experience. It's a time for them to see the country, to get an idea of a whole different perspective on the world, you might say. And the Western Tour is exactly that, literally getting on a bus and traveling across, what, to California? I think I've seen usually we go out west on a couple of trips. We do an eastern trip, which we're doing this summer. And we go for 2 or 3 weeks. How exciting, Randy, that you're capable of, clearly you've got a great crew here locally that enable you to get out of the office for 2 to 3 weeks straight to go on a bus. Yeah, they call me on the phone every now and then, as you can imagine. But it's a neat, and it's helpful to me because it's something totally different. You get a different perspective. I just love working with young people. Sure. Do you have, speaking of young people, family here in the business with you? Folks setting the stage for them to take over? Well, yes. I have 4 children. My wife and I have 4 children. My wife, Chris, and we have 2 grown boys, Jacob and Stephen Stackley, who live in Charleston and are working down there. And then we have a daughter who's in college at University of South Carolina, Chrissy, and my son Weston is working with me at CANA Corporation. So he's just getting his feet wet. He's doing everything from cutting the grass to washing windows. And every now and then we let him dress up and pretend he's in the real estate development business. I love it. I love it. Since you're not in the cotton business, he's happy to stay involved. Oh, he's happy. He's happier to be in this business. I think he's happier than he would be in the cotton business too. Right. How exciting! Of course, we just got a couple of minutes, Randy. You've been spending a lot of time with with your co-chair, with Penny Bowling, I believe, working hard on the capital campaign for, is it the Coastal Carolina YMCA or the Grand Strand YMCA? Well, we're working on the Grand Strand portion of it. Of course, we're building a building in Georgetown, as well as here in Myrtle Beach. And in Myrtle Beach, Penny and I are working on that. We are hoping to get started in another month or 2. As you well know, we're hoping to break ground very shortly. And we're still looking for donations to the capital campaign. They're still naming opportunities to name a room. But it's a pretty exciting time for the YMCA, and it's time for the YMCA to be here in Myrtle Beach. If a viewer was interested in helping out with the campaign, the capital campaign there, what's the best way to support it? Call in Y or call in your office? Call the Y. Okay. It's 449-9622. Great. It's good. 449-YMCA. The easy to remember, 449-YMCA. That's right. And it's the best thing, and call up there and say, hey, how can I help? And we'll send you some materials. I mean, obviously anybody can contact me at CANA Corporation. Good. Or Penny Bowling at Century 21 Bowling. And we're excited to be a part of this. It's a great time. It's great for the community. Absolutely. There's also a lot of focus on Habitat for Humanity. You all have a big piece coming up this summer, I believe. This summer is going to be the Builders Blitz, where they're going to build 6 houses in 1 week. My partner and I, Derek Blanton, and myself, Derek Blanton Construction. He's a partner of mine in a number of ventures, and Derek and I have worked to get 7 lots ready. So we've got 1 extra lot, but they'll be able to build on later. But this summer they're going to build 6 houses, 6 different builders coming in and lining up, start on Monday and finish on Saturday. And the families will all move in on Saturday this summer in June. I can't remember the exact dates, but it's one of the first weeks in June, and people need to be aware of that. It's a really great thing, and Habitat's a great program. Oh yeah, we had Olivia Guerin, is it? Whoever runs the Habitat just recently there at. It's not Olivia Guerin, it's someone else. Olivia Guerin with the United Way. A mental block there. Gail Olive. Gail Olive, thank you. Was just with us at Grassy Granite over on 544 recently, highlighting what you all are doing and even trying to recruit more builders at that time. So. Yeah, and they want to do it like every couple of years. So, and builders don't realize how they really can do this. And Derek was a part of it last time, and he's going to be building a house this time. And, there are a lot more builders that hopefully will get involved in the coming years. We talked about your crystal ball, obviously thinking about the market going forward. If you had a minute to summarize where you see the Myrtle Beach market in the next few years, Randy, what do you see as the real trend? Well, a good thing that comes out of a slow time is people start thinking more about what they really want, and developers and builders start thinking about how to answer that need. So more creativity comes out of slow times. You know, when it's so busy, everybody's just kind of producing things to answer the need. But now you start thinking about, what do we really need in Myrtle Beach, or what do I really want in Myrtle Beach? What do I really want to come to? How do I want to live? So we start getting new designs on everything from houses, condos, subdivisions. Everybody starts thinking more creatively about, well, you know, wait a minute, I don't want to just buy a house. I want to buy a house that suits my needs.
House.
And so I see a lot more creativity coming out in the future. I think in the next few years you'll start seeing some more exciting developments. I think we're already starting to see some of it. I think things like Market Commons and even like North Beach Plantation are kind of more unique projects that come out of a tougher time and say, well, we've got to do a little bit better. We've got to do a little bit more what people really want. We'll see more green building coming in the future years and more energy efficiency. But I think it's going to be an exciting time for Myrtle Beach in the next 5 years. You'll see some really neat products coming out.
I think you're right on. That's great, Randy. Thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Thank
Sorry
you.
we've run out of time.
Thank you.
Stay tuned to more Carolina People with Randy Wallace, the president of CANA Corporation. We spent 30 minutes talking about real estate trends, about cycles, about creativity, even about a bus trip across the country. But the only phone number he threw out was 449-YMCA. Take the time to pick up the phone. Give them a call. They need help wrapping up the capital campaign. You can make a difference. Give them a call, 843-449-YMCA. Give them a help. Randy Wallace, thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you.